channel. My name is Lindsay if this is your first time here. And if you've been tuning in, what's up, what's good, what's tea, welcome back. As you can tell from the title, today we'll be doing a little something different here on my channel. I was just thinking about just like the things that I've experienced in my journey, and especially with everything going on, people may be thinking about changing in careers and possibly wanting to go into beauty school. And I know when I was thinking about going to beauty school, the first thing that I did was, of course, come here on YouTube. And for as many people who go to beauty school, in my opinion, it just wasn't enough. Like, I want to in-depth detail what to expect, real experiences, and for me personally, I just didn't find it, at least specifically for the school that I was interested in. So I decided that I will bring my experience to you guys. So if you clicked on this video, either you're thinking about wanting to go to beauty school, you're currently in beauty school, or you just nosy and want to know my experience, either way, subscribe if you have not already. Go ahead and like this video, comment any questions that I don't answer within this video, share this video to others who may be thinking about going to beauty school. So let's jump right into it. For those of you who don't know me, I am a licensed esthetician. I've been licensed in the state of Texas for about, it'll be 2 years in September of 2020. So, girl, I'm getting old. I went to Aveda Institute of Dallas. Before I moved here to Texas in 2016, I had previously worked at a salon in San Francisco, and it was an Aveda salon, and it honestly was my favorite job that I've held. And child, I've held a lot of jobs. So what I've taken from that experience was, one, Aveda as a company, it's not just a brand that cares about money. They also care about the environment, and they have a really great mission statement, and they do so much, not only for its clients, its customers, its students, but just for everything and everyone around the world. The way that they source their products, it just, all in all, for me personally, that's what I really fell in love with, was Aveda as a brand. And then not to mention, their clients like are very loyal. So once someone uses Aveda products, whether that's hair or skin or even makeup, they're gonna keep coming to that salon, keep coming to that spa, keep coming to that school, whatever the case may be, because they don't fall in love just with the products, they fall in love with the brand. If you really fall in love with who someone is behind its name and as a brand and as a culture, people are gonna keep coming and they're gonna be loyal to you. And so I wanted a piece of that pie. So yes, when I decided that I wanted to go to beauty school, I literally chose Aveda. I didn't tour any other schools, which I've talked to other people who are estheticians and cosmetologists, especially here in DFW, and the experiences wasn't so good. The reason why I chose to attend beauty school was because at the time I was working as an assistant manager at a lash studio, and I was doing payroll, and this lash artist was making more than me, and I was like, oh, I'm on the wrong end of this. So I was like, okay, let me figure out what I need to be a lash artist. And in the state of Texas, you have to have either a cosmetology license, an aesthetics license, or a lash license. I could have very easily went ahead and did a lash license. It would have been a shorter program, less money. But when I'm in something, I can never stay in something for too long. Like, I'm a type of person, like, I really have a hustler's heart and a hustler mentality. And I just knew that even if I did great with lashes, I was gonna want more. I was gonna want to do more. And so with the aesthetics license, I would be able to do so much more under that license. And so that's why I chose to do that. Also, depending on what state you're in, it will depend on what you need to do. So if you are watching this video and you're wanting to be a lash artist, and this is the reason why you want to go to beauty school, check your state board to see exactly what requirements you need in order to be able to do lashes in your state, because each state is different. Just wanted to put that out there. Once I decided that I wanted to go to beauty school, and the why, I decided that I wanted to go to Aveda. So I went ahead and toured the facility. If I have any videos of that, probably for my Snapchat. I'll go ahead and insert it here. Once I toured, I sat with someone in admissions. They told me basically about the process, told me about the program, about tuition, about just everything, the schedule and everything. So I'm gonna kind of break that down. Tuition was too damn much. Just putting that out there. It was about $11,000, which Aveda, the tuition is more on the pricier side of what I've heard about other schools, especially in DFW, for the aesthetics program. But you just kind of have to figure out what you're willing to pay. Was it worth it? Now I say yes, but in the moment, in the beginning, I was like, yeah, whatever. I just wanted my license so I could do lashes and make millions. Like, that was my mindset. So, but looking, like, while I was there and in the program, some days I felt like it was worth it, some days I didn't. So it just depends. So as far as my tuition, I got financial aid for part of it. I got a loan to cover another part, and then I still had to pay, I think, $900 out of pocket. So no, $600 out of pocket. So I basically, for my 6 months that I was there, I paid $100 to the school directly each month. And girl, I'm still paying that loan off. So yes. And then as far as Texas, to receive your aesthetics license, there's two different components. You have to complete 750 hours, and then you also have to pass your state board written and practical exam to become licensed. The program that I did was 750 hours. It was a 6-month program. I started school in February of 2018 and I graduated in August of 2018. So it was a 6-month program. It was 3 days, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. It was 10-hour days. I almost didn't make it, y'all. Like, it was hard. And people who like, oh, being in school, it's so easy. Girl, I don't know how the cosmetologists do it, because their program is twice as long. It was a lot. But I'm just so happy that I did it. If you're thinking about going to beauty school, you have to honestly really do it for the right reasons and stick to it, and really be all the way in. That's just a tip. A lot of people want to know, like, what is in the kit. Again, this was 2 years ago. I wish I would have filmed that, because mainly when I started Aveda, that's all I was looking for. I wanted to know what was going to be in my kit. They give you a list of everything, and again, if I can find that list, I will insert it. One thing I will mention is in the tuition, it breaks down exactly how much the kit is. And when you're in the beginning, like, and you're signing up and you're doing the application, you're not thinking of these numbers or what's really gonna come in it. And for how much the kit was, I don't believe that it was a good value for what we had to pay for it. And that's just my opinion. I assumed that we were going to get all of the products, so we were gonna have our own products to use on clients, like our own personal products, that we were gonna get one of every product, when that's not the case. So only products that you actually get are like Aveda products, like actual products, are a hand cream and a hand and foot relief. But everything else they give you at school during whatever it is that you're doing. So that honestly was one of like the biggest like cons for me. Like, looking back, I don't know why they charge so much for that kit. It makes no sense to me. But anyway, basically what comes in your kit is you get face and body mask brushes, you get a hairbrush, you get a cape, you get a hand relief, a foot relief, you get extractor tools, you get little like bird scissors, you get waxing wood stick. You don't get a mannequin, which I don't understand why we didn't get a mannequin. That was another thing too. The first week, I'm just gonna give you guys the rundown, because this is something else that I was looking for in videos that nobody talked about. So on our first day, we went in, and your first week is Camp Aveda. So even though our program was 3 days a week, the first week is 5 days. At the time, it was 2 aesthetics class. It was an A side and a B side. So A side was like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then B side, which I was in, was Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So both of those classes basically were together, and the first day we walked in and they took our pictures in front of like the Aveda sign. I'll insert my picture here. I was a little heavier at the time, so don't judge me. Okay. You walk in and then you're in like a presentation room. And then it was cute, like it was really, really cute. And then they give you like all of these, like a booklet. The first day you basically learn the history about Aveda, which I was already familiar with. The second day, I think we just did like a whole bunch of like icebreakers and get to know you. I believe the third day we did services with the students that were already attending the school. So we got like manis, pedis, we got facials. And then if you wanted to get your hair done, you can get your hair done too. So that was really fun. The fourth day actually was like a fire drill, or like there was a fire or something. So we ended up getting out early. Fourth day was supposed to get our kits. So then we ended up doing that on the last day. So that's what to expect. Oh, you also like get your name tags and stuff like that. But it was very, very fun. You also learn the different Ayurvedic principles. Is basically like the message behind Aveda and the brand and the plant power. You learn the mission statement, which you say every single day. Also, the program is with the 6 months. 3 months you're in intro, which, so not only are you learning like skin as a whole, you're also learning about Aveda and their specific products, and then you're also learning the protocols of the services that you'll be performing, and then you perform them on each other in your class. So what we do is that we would learn for like half of the day. Mind you guys, we're 10 hours. So the first half of the day we'll basically learn everything, and then we'll have lunch, which our lunch was an hour, and then the second half of the day is usually when we will learn a specific like protocol or waxing or a specific service, and then we'll perform it on each other. And that's basically how the days went for the first 3 months. Our teacher was really fun. He had a very versatile teaching style, which was very refreshing, because I know some teachers only teach one type of way and everyone learns differently. So I feel like I learned what I needed to learn. Like I definitely feel like I got my money's worth out of that, of the actual like experience. Every Thursday we had a meeting with all the students of the school, and they handed out awards. They did benchmarks. So for you basically have benchmarks. You have certain things that you have to hit in order to move on. Have practical, so there's so many services that you have to do, or so many, you have to pass a certain amount of tests with a certain test score in order to move forward. It's kind of like, so they will go over benchmarks and any awards. Sometimes they'll bring special guests to do demos. Honestly, it was mainly targeted towards the cosmetology side, because of course Aveda, I believe, makes the majority of their money for the cosmetology students, because for one, their program is longer, and for two, they're paying more money and it's always going to be bigger. So for the most part, we didn't really have a lot of people come specifically for aesthetics, unless it was from our teachers. So there was things that Aveda didn't teach you because of its branding and its background. It's plant powered, so we didn't do chemical peels. We didn't do lash extensions. We didn't do microblading. We didn't learn how to do like machine facials, like hydrofacials. We didn't learn how to do like LED light therapy, stuff like that. So if that's something that you are interested in and wanting to do, Aveda is definitely not the place for you. But in my opinion, I've talked to people who went to other beauty schools and they learned how to do those things, but they don't know like skin for real. Like they can't just have a client and really know how to even have a thorough consultation with them. Which, if you go and work for a spa and they have, like, for instance, a hydrofacial, they have to train you on that anyways. So you don't have to have that from your cosmetology school. Or an LED, like whoever you go work for in order to use those machines, they have to train you anyways. So I would rather have learned how to have a consultation and really get to the bottom and the root and understand skin and products in depth, then it be glazed over and I know how to use a machine that I have to get taught anyways. So it's just something to think about. So yeah, so your first 3 months you're downstairs, and then your second 3 months you're in clinic, or which is called spa. And that's when you're actually taking clients. Your first 3 months you're doing your training or your protocols or things that you're learning are on each other, like other people in your class, and then on models. And then once you get up into spa, that's when you're actually taking paying guests. And you do have to pass a final in order to graduate up into spa after your 3 months, just to make sure that you're ready, which everybody passed, so yeah. Well, at least everyone in my class did. So then when you go up to spa, that's when you start to have your benchmarks. You have to have a certain amount of services completed by the end of your 3 months in order to be eligible to take your state board and to actually like pass. Basically what happens is at Aveda, they have a call center where people go and they book certain appointments. So the appointments range from facials, waxing, brow tinting, body scrub. Yeah, I think that's like the gist of what we did, but of course there's like different facials, there's different variations of facials, and then some people will get combo services, so they might get a facial and a brow wax, or a facial and a body treatment, or whatever the case may be. So with that, they are paying clients, so they pay basically Aveda, which is so affordable compared to like an actual spa. And what I've heard from other places is that the students of other beauty schools had to actually go out and find their own clients, which to me is freaking crazy. Like, I'm paying y'all and I have to go and find my own models to complete my benchmarks in order to pass. Like, that's beyond me. So with Aveda, they provided all of your clients, which kind of goes back to what I was saying, that Aveda has a very loyal clientele. So they paid a small fraction of a price. Honestly, it was mainly like, it was like $30 for a facial. And it was like a 60-minute facial. So you would have a client, and the way that like spa worked was they will book your appointment. You'll see when they're checked in. Our class was split in half. For the morning half is the morning shift is when you'll take clients in the morning, and then in the afternoon you would help out, like either doing laundry, flipping rooms, which is changing linens, working the dispensary, making sure that people have enough products. And then you guys would flip, where the afternoon would take clients, and then the people in the morning would basically do all the duties, which wasn't bad. Like, laundry was honestly the worst, because at spas and salons I've never really had to do like real laundry. We've always had like either a housekeeper or something like that, so that was like the worst part of it. But like working dispense and helping people flip rooms was easy. So when you were taking a client, you see on a schedule what you were booked, what service they were getting. You'll see when they're checked in. Then basically someone, a greeter, would go to the front, go and get them. They would have them change into their robe and slippers. Then they'll take them into the relaxation area where they can sit and have tea. And then you would pick them up from the relaxation area and you would take them to the room. You would give them a foot ritual, is what it's called. So again, if you don't like feet, Aveda is not for you, because you have to do a foot ritual for basically, it begins every single service. So what it is you're basically cleansing and exfoliating their feet and talking about their skin. It breaks the ice. It is relaxing for them, and most people love it, because nowhere else do you really do that. Or get that type of service, and it's a free part of their service. So it's basically when you do like a consultation with them, asking like their skin, what their skin concerns are, really getting to know them. And then once their foot ritual is done, you would have them get onto the table, you'll step out, and then like as far as the rooms go, it was like legit looked like a spa. You had your own sink, you had your own cabinets, you had your own little setup of everything. You had your own table warmers, you had your own foot bath. It was nice. You will go and get your cleansing steps. And so you will basically cleanse your skin. You'll go in with your instructor, and then you will perform a skin analysis, and they're just there basically to make sure that you're on the right path and that you're not choosing a facial that's not safe for your client. So it's like basically just having someone there to support you. And then on that, once you do your skin analysis, you will figure out like if they're on any medications, any contraindications, what their skincare at home is, so that you're not putting something on their skin that's going to react to something that they already use. Then you guys together are going to choose the facial, and then once you do that, you're going to go in the rest of your steps for your facial from the dispensary. Then you'll come back and you'll perform your facial or your brow wax or whatever. And then once you're done, you'll step out, your client will get redressed. You'll go and you'll grab your instructor again, and they'll basically talk to your client just to see how their experience was and everything. And then once they've done that, then it's time for you to take them back to the locker room. You'll wait on them at the locker room, and then you'll walk them up to the front, and then you'll get them any product recommendations from your prescription pad. So basically you'll have a paper that's gonna fill out like what their skin type is, what you guys did. It'll literally go through everything and walk you through step by step. And then you have to recommend 3 products, and then you're gonna tell them exactly when you want to see them back again, which I love, because from going to school to working in an actual spa, that's basically exactly how it is at the spa. And it made me a lot more comfortable and sure of myself, because I basically did that for 3 whole months. So when I did get a spa job and that's what I had to do with the spa, I wasn't like afraid or like, oh my god, what do I do? How do I recommend products? Like, are they gonna feel like I'm being salesy? It's like, no, I know to talk about those products in the service, and then once it's time to like take them up and do product recommendations, is, oh hey, like this is the exfoliant that I mentioned during your service, and your skin reacted really well to it. I know that you mentioned how soft that it felt, so if you want to have those results at home, this is the product for you. Boom, boom, boom. It's easy. It helps you with your confidence. So that is something that I definitely loved, was the process, and how spa like the spa actually feel like. It literally feels like you are at a spa. And this is even if you don't want to go to Aveda, or thinking like whatever beauty school you're thinking about, go and get a service there, so that you can see how they treat the clients from the booking process to the actual service, to the price, to the checkout, to the rebooking. How you can see how your clients are going to be treated, even from you calling to book an appointment. And honestly, it doesn't even have to do with just school. Any job that has a clientele, do that. So if it's, you want to work at a hair salon, go get your hair done there. You want to work at a nail salon, go get your nails done. Brows, waxing, lashes, go and get an actual service done, and that will tell you so much. So the next thing I want to touch on is preparing for the state board, which is something that I feel like Aveda definitely did a phenomenal job on. I literally felt so confident going into my state board, and I passed my practical and my written the first time. Easy peasy. I felt like I could have trained someone else to do it. That's how like in-depth they are. So with state board, there's certain things that you have to hit, and Aveda will teach you how to do that with as little steps as possible. Like literally you're only hitting the points. You're not doing nothing extra, because when you have to start doing extra stuff, that's when you mess up and you get in your head, and now it's so much for you to remember. They literally teach you how to pass the state board. That's it. So I would say like the last few weeks of your program is when you're gonna do state board prep. You're gonna take written tests, and it is honestly accumulated from some of the questions that people have told them will be on the state board test. So yes, I think there's honestly like maybe 5 questions, and I don't even remember how many questions were on my state board, probably like 60 or 70, but there was only 5 questions that I had no idea about, and mainly it was about like guidelines, which that's a part of TDLR, which is the Texas Department of Licensing and Registration. It was just like little things about like your license and stuff like that, which we didn't go really in depth about, because they kind of wanted us to do that on our own, which I didn't really do, so that's on me. But because it's such a small portion of the test, they don't feel like it's that necessary. Like even if you were to fail all of the TDLR questions, you would still pass. So they really taught you and went over like the important parts. So I feel like I was very prepared for the written test. It was basically every test that we had did for our first 3 months went over those questions specifically. So in our final, in order to get up into clinic, it was basically those same questions. So it was just like everything like accumulated, all the questions accumulated. So once we did that, that was so easy, because it's the same thing that we had been learning for the first 3 months. And we just kind of had to brush up on it, because once you get into clinic, of course, you're not having to do anything written. So it was just like a refresher course on that. And then as far as the practical for state board, they provided everything. The only thing that we had to buy ourselves was like a duffel bag to put all of our products in. But all of the materials, everything, I think we ended up paying them like $20, and they bought everything for us. and we basically packed our bag. So we knew exactly what was going to be in our bag. We labeled everything, and that was what we took for state board. And so when we practiced it out of our bag. So we knew exactly where things were, what to reach for, at what point, and I could have did it blindfolded, honestly. It was that easy. And when I was taking my actual practical, there were people taking forever to finish each step. They was doing all these extra things, and it just was so unnecessary. So yes, I feel like I was very, very, very prepared for state board. So that concludes this video. Thank you so much for getting to the end of this video. I know it was a long one. If you have questions, comments, or something that I forgot, something I didn't mention, something I just did not cover in this video, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I can make another part to this video. We could do part 2, part 3, whatever. So definitely keep an eye out for that. If you have not, go ahead and subscribe. If you like this video, give your girl a thumbs up. I will catch y'all in my next upload. As always, stay beautiful. Peace. And